Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm Sargel18. Episode 17 of Sargel18 Unchained. Sargel18 and Mother Teresa, plus Hypocrites of Revelation. Beware. Before I start into this video, which I feel is extremely important for validity of who I am and of my mission and the things I have done, are doing, and will do in the near future. So please share these videos I put out. Put them anywhere you want. Facebook or X or TikTok. I don't know, whatever it is. I don't want money. I just want the word out. Okay? So that would be great if you guys could do that. All right? Now, I'm going to explain my soul's relationship to Mother Teresa. I've always known about her like everyone else through the years. I didn't pay much attention, but knew she was a very good soul. She didn't come onto my radar until September 1997, when I was asked a question by the producers from the TV show Strange Universe. The question was, who is your boss here on Earth, and who do you answer to? Dev gave me the answer immediately. I answered to Mother Teresa, I said. And then I brought on the TV show. I wish I could get a copy of it, but the government has made sure that that TV show has disappeared forever. I then brought on the TV show Devron, and he gave some predictions and some help to the filming crew. He told the producer that a job's going to come up in a few months, and down south, and you should take this job because you're going to meet your soulmate and your wife, and you're going to get married. That's what he said there. Okay. Now, at the end, before one of the last things that Devron said on the show was the exact date that Mother Teresa would die, September 5th, 1997, and she did. The show they did about me didn't air until about a week after her death. I got a call from Riser Entertainment in Hollywood, the producer that came out, blown away by Devron's prediction of and her death, and then told me that his boss didn't want Dev's prediction of her dying broadcast, so they cut it, and that he wanted to tell me and apologize. If they had left it in, I would have reached world acclaim instantly as the prophet or seer of the world thing. Because calling Mother Teresa's death right to the day is pretty good. Oh, and by the way, Devron gave a personal reading to that producer, and as I just said before, he said in a few months you're going to get a chance to go down south and do a show, and there you will meet your soulmate and get married. About a year later, he called and told me he followed Devron's instructions, and he met her, and they got married. Cool, right? Dev likes to help, man. He's really, well, he's the hand of God, so unless you're evil, getting help from Devron is fantastic. Now, that night of the day she died, I was sitting at my desk, and instantly my soul was called to the great hall in heaven, along with other souls from heaven here to help during this revelation. I was about halfway through the crowd of souls and could see divine providence very clearly. And to describe it, it's like if you go to, let's say you graduate in high school and you have to walk up on the podium, on the stage, and then you walk up and you get your diploma. It kind of looked like that. And in the base, there was well over 100,000 souls standing there, all looking like they look as they are on Earth. They weren't just white blobs. They actually looked like I look like me standing there. It was very cool and weird. Jesus was in the center with 6 beings on either side. making up the 13 members of Divine Providence. The last soul on the right was Mother Teresa. Her coming back completed Divine Providence in heaven. And here is what? Of course, my soul went. I couldn't bring a camera, or did I even know that I was going. So I actually drew from memory what it looked like. Now, as you see there, you see the bottom, you see all those people. Sorry, I'm not that great of an artist. We're all standing down there, and I'm on the right there, about halfway through the crowd. If you look up on the podium, you have Jesus in the center, with 6 beings on either side, and on the far right was Mother Teresa. That's what it looked like in a great, I would say, granite hall. I'm not privy that much right now in this incarnation to that information more clearly, but I knew it instinctively as the Great Hall of Divine Providence, and that's where they make decisions. Okay? That's where they make decisions. All right. Nothing had to be said. Nothing had to be said. Any experience on that level just is revealed out into the crowd from whoever is doing it, whether Jesus is doing it or Mother Teresa or one of the other individuals on either side of him. And it goes out in a wave pattern, like an ocean wave, but energy. And everyone knows what it is instantly. You don't have to talk and explain. You don't have to make a video and put it on YouTube or anything like that. The wave has all the information, and your soul instantly absorbs it, and you know what the deal is. Teresa bore witness to many of the atrocities of man when it comes to helping others. No matter what their creed or location is, it was overwhelmingly horrible. Basically, we all got 90 plus years of what she saw, all in an instant. It'll send you reeling. Now, at that point, Jesus, combined with the other 12 souls of Divine Providence, put out in a massive wave to the 144,000 souls standing there. Apocalypse, yes or no? I could sense the wave. It was coming from my right. I could sense the wave being answered by every soul it touched. Yes. And including me, yes. Then I was back instantly at my desk and have been preparing to strengthen my soul energy ever since. Now that time is here for that. It was definitely cool. I also had a meeting with Archangel Michael, and I'll be talking about that soon. But let me tell you about when they take you. The one thing I wonder is, what is your body doing? Am I just sitting there at the desk motionless because my soul was grabbed out, and brought to heaven for this decision? That part I don't know. And I never know when it's going to happen. It just happens. So, and I'm cool with it. All right. Okay, further along. In 2017, I was diagnosed with hepatitis C. I got it when I was in the Navy in February 1977 and didn't know I had it for 43 years. I was never sick, and the VA was blown away that it was never found in 43 years. I'm not a drinker. The Hep C gave me F4 cirrhosis of the liver. I had no idea anything was wrong with me. Then in 2023, I got the liver cancer from it. And you can check back my videos there, and I talk about the information on the liver cancer and all. Now, this came right out of left field, caught me completely by surprise, and put me in a state of shock and depression. I found my way to Mother Teresa's church here in Pennsylvania, in Schuylkill County. And the covenant of her missionaries of charity, the sisters. They all wear white like Mother Teresa, the sisters. Now, their mission was located in a row house about a block away from the church. Old, crummy looking thing. I'm going to show you in a second. After sitting in a church for a while, trying to figure out why my mission was over, I figured I was canceled out by divine providence. I must have done something wrong in order to have this happen to me. How am I supposed to finish what I'm to do? That's what's going through my head at the time, and believe me, a 6 conjuncting Scorpio can get depressed. I prayed for answers in the church, but I didn't hear anything. I figured that's it. Everything I accomplished was for nothing. I walked out of the church and reached the sidewalk, down the steps, and reached the sidewalk as 4 of her sisters, the nuns, the Sisters of Charity, were walking by to go pray in the church. And they don't talk to people in general. I've never seen them talk to anyone. I guess it's their devotion to Mother Teresa that goes with that. All 4 were young, about 25 to 35 years old, wearing their white garb like Mother Teresa. They had olive skin and looked like they were from South America, one of the countries in South America, Latin countries. As we met face to face, they kept walking and turned their eyes downward, which is what I'd seen them do before, so I figured, okay, yeah, you're not allowed to talk to people, especially men. You're not allowed to do that. The first 3 turned up the steps, and then the 4th reached out and touched the arm of the sister in front of her and said something in Spanish and stopped walking. Now, she turned and in fluent English asked me what was wrong. What was wrong? In fluent English. I just heard her speak fluent Spanish, and now she's speaking fluent English to me. I guess so I could understand, right? She asked me what was wrong. She was young, beautiful, and her eyes were deep with good energy. So I talked for about 10 minutes, and I told her what happened to me. Nothing about who I am, my mission, Sargel18, contact, the orb discovery, none of that. I was just a regular human, what a regular human being would go through. And I didn't mention meeting Jesus, or that Mother Teresa was my boss here. Now all of a sudden she looked at me and said, "Please follow me." And we started walking to the convent. As we reached the back door, she unlocked it, and I didn't approach because no man is allowed inside the convent. I figured I'll wait out on the sidewalk by the door. Now she opened the door and turned and said, "Follow me. It's okay." Now I was already in shock from finding out that I had cirrhosis of the liver before this big encounter, but now I had no idea what is happening. So I followed. What do I got to lose? My mission's over in my head. I got kicked out the door. It was very poor inside, and we went up a few steps. The hallway continued, and then to the right there was a room on the right that she led me into. And in that room, when I walked in, the wood looked like it had been outside in the weather for years. It wasn't polished or anything or sanded. It was poor looking. And there was this little bed on 4 beams with about a 2-inch mattress and a flat pillow, one flat pillow to the right. And in the middle of the room was an altar where you would kneel down and pray with a cross. And then looking out there was this round window. And then there was a little light over by, a little crummy 1930s light thing over by where the bed was. She said, "Wait here." I was confused. Before she left, though, she said, "This is the room that Mother Teresa stayed in and slept in when she came to visit in 1995. I believe that was the last church she visited before she died. That she visited in America before she died. And that was quite a big deal. You can find that on the internet too. And then she left. I just stood there, taking in the whole reality of where I was standing. I was waiting there for about 10 minutes when two other older sisters walked by the door. They both glanced in the room, hesitated for a split second, and then continued on their way. Because I was like, I didn't know what to say. I just stood there and stared at him. I figured, I'm busted. Who is this girl that's saying she's a nun? You know, maybe this is some kind of like crackhead trip or something, you know, or thing that they do to people. I didn't know what to believe at that point. The other sister came back and showed me a medal and told me that this relic is has Mother Teresa's actual blood in it, taken from her at the moment of her death. She called 12 of the sisters from around the world to be there upon her death. Each will receive this relic with her blood in it. That's it. There's only 12 in existence. And was brought back around the world to where the sisters came from. Now, of course, I figured instantly the sister standing in front of me was one of those 12 sisters, because she had the medal, and she was telling me this, and I don't believe that the Sisters of Charity or Missionaries of Charity lie. They don't. She then looked at me and said, I am going to give you the relic. Be careful. Don't lose it. And I was like, what? She put her hand out to hand to me. I put my hand out and she dropped it in it. And then it was time to go. Now we walked back towards the church, talking again. She spoke perfect English. She stopped walking and said, don't worry. You are a very special soul and have great things to do in the future. And that's it. She then turned to walk, and I said, Sister, I don't understand. I mean, this is a lot of shit to be coming at one person at one time, between the health issue and this happening. Now, her look became different, quieter, peaceful, and she started speaking to me in fluent Spanish with a heavy accent. I just stared at her, and she smiled and left. Almost like that is what she is, because obviously looking at her, you know what she is. You know that she's Spanish, you know, or Latin, and you know you can just tell. And she's speaking fluent English, like she came from Brooklyn. And then she went back to that again. I think she was taken over by Mother Teresa, or one of Divine Providence's missionary type souls that do this type of work, to give me the heads up and make sure that I got this medal. Now, this medal, I'm going to first, all right, first, we'll get to it. Hold on, just let me, what the heck am I doing here? I don't know, I'm all flustered. Just remembering this is unbelievable. It's one of the unbelievable miracles in my life and mission that just keep coming. One thing with miracles, I'm not short on that, that's for sure. Whether I do it or God does it, or Divine Providence does it. Now here's where the nuns go in to pray in that church. You can see there's a statue of Mother Teresa holding a baby and all. And I've been in this room many times praying for help, praying for guidance, all the time. This is where those sisters were going. Again, just in case the younger crowd don't know who I'm talking about, here she is, Mother Teresa. Jesus incarnate, as I talked about. And here is the convent. Now, we went she walked us to that door on the left bottom there, which would look like the basement door, up one flight of stairs, The room to the right there with the two windows, that's the room that Mother Teresa stayed in, and that's the room she let me wait in. And there's the round window that Mother Teresa would be looking at as she prayed on that altar. There's the place. No man has ever been in there as far as I know, except me. Now, I'm going to show you the metal. Number one, it's right here. I don't know if you can hear it. I have it encased in a glass pendant holder. It's been on me ever since that day. And it's Mother Teresa's blood, her DNA. From the man that came out on television in 1997 and said Mother Teresa is his boss. All those years later in 2017, I get this from her. Tell me. That's a hell of... If it's a coincidence, it's a hell of a coincidence, especially who I am. But here now I want to show you up close what the metal looks like. There it is. You see Mother Teresa on it. It's a special metal. As far as I know. I can't find it anywhere, so they don't advertise that the 12 sisters got it. And here on the back is the first degree relic. Her blood in there. It turns brownish as years go by. Right in the center, her blood. And I have that in there. Now, that is my experience so far with Mother Teresa. And both in etherically and heavenly and in third dimension. And she marked me by giving me, this was meant for me, I gather. It had to be. I don't know if any of the other nuns gave one to anybody, a woman or a man or a child. But as far as I know right now, I am the only man on earth that has this from her. The only man. And it was given to me from one of the 12 sisters. And I kind of felt beat because she don't have it anymore, but Mother knew what she was doing. So that's what that's about. Now I'm going to quickly hit on hypocrisy in Revelation. All about Revelation is about lies, maneuvers, and basically hypocrites. Just like we're seeing right now, you're seeing tons of hypocritical messages being sent to you, like the current administration. The economy's great. What are you talking about? Yeah, you don't know what you're doing. Meanwhile, you go into the store, you're paying $8 for 12 eggs. See, that's hypocrisy. Now, the one thing in metaphysics that I've met is hypocrites. I'm the only person, both famous, who have met famous and non-famous from all around the world, that make statements, but when it comes to backing it up, back right down immediately. One example was a very special individual. He was famous in the late 90s in Denver, and he wanted me to give him show him my evidence before I showed it to the 1,000+ people that were there to see me in the auditorium. And I told him, I said, I can't do that. I said, you get it just like everyone else gets it. And he said, oh no, I have to go to work tomorrow and I don't want to miss it, so I want to see it now. And I said, well, what I'm about to show you is so important to not only you, but your family, your life, the world. You can't take a few hours off of work. To 4 hours I was scheduled to talk. You couldn't take off from work? Oh, no, I can't do that. I go, but you're saying you're the world's expert in this particular field, so I don't get it. Now, people ask me, can you do this? Can you give me a reading? Can you make a prediction? Can you take me to see the beings and aliens and show me UFOs? I just do it. It's no hypocrisy there. So, I've been at my operation, the Y90, that took away the cancer in my liver. For now, I could come back. I mean, you could. I'll just get another Y90 treatment. And all other medical is paid 100% with no copay by the Veterans Administration for me. 100%. Top of the line, best doctors in the world, especially from what I seem to know now, being associated with them, for me. Okay, make sure that I live. It's important. It's important to DARPA, it's important to the government, it's important to people. Okay, that's fine. Right away, they told me that I'll be qualified for a liver transplant, and they'll take care of it in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. That's where the VA does it. Best doctors in the world, will do it, and they'll make me all better. And I had to go through a series of tests in order to qualify, which I think is insane. What, you got to be smart in order to get a liver transplant? Otherwise, if you're just a regular numbskull, they say no. I didn't like that at all. And I didn't like the idea of a liver transplant. And it bothered me, So finally, I had a decision to make. And only this week. This was the final week of the decision. And they bent over backwards to get me to Harrisburg. They'll take me there. They'll pay for everything. Pay for the hotels for Sandra and the dogs to come, because I was all worried about the dog. Everything paid. No copay. And I just told them, I'm not a hypocrite. So no to the transplant. Give it to somebody other person that needs it. I'm going to take now to show you doctors and the people around me in general and the people listening to this that I will put my life on the line. I am not a hypocrite. I'm the real deal. And only the real deal will do that. So I'm not going for a transplant. I know when I'll die. I'll die in June of 2042 when I'm 82 years old. That's when I'll leave this plane of reality. All based on information from heaven, divine providence, and Devron. All. If I got that liver transplant, I would be a hypocrite. The things I'm telling you about myself and all that I've showed the world in the last 30-some years would mean nothing. Only the real deal will survive this deal. And I'm about to show the world who the real deal is. I want everybody to stay prayed up. And peace out.